Please be seated. Chancellor, University Council, Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, senior officers, academic and professional staff, graduands, families and friends. It is with pleasure that I welcome you to Victoria University's graduation ceremony for the College of Law and Justice and the College of Sport and Exercise Science. My name is Susan Young and I'm the Dean of Students at Victoria University and your MC for today. On behalf of my fellow Victoria University staff, I extend a warm welcome and congratulate all graduates on their achievements today. As a mark of respect to Australia's Indigenous people, we acknowledge the ancestors, elders and families of the Boonwurrung and Woiwurrung of the Kulin, who are the traditional owners of university land. As we share our own knowledge practices within the university, may we pay respect to the deep knowledge embedded within the Aboriginal community and their ownership of country. We acknowledge that the land on which we meet is a place of age-old ceremonies of celebration, initiation and renewal, and that the Kulin people's living culture has a unique role in the life of this region. Now I would like to invite Chancellor Mr. George Pappas, AO, to speak with you. The Chancellor's role is to chair the Council and to guide the strategic direction of the University. Thank you, George.
Thank you, Susan. Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, senior officers, academic and professional staff, university councillors, graduands and graduands' families and friends, can I also add my welcome, and especially to our graduands, because today is a day to celebrate success, your success. In graduating today, you've achieved a great deal. You've demonstrated a capacity to set goals and then work hard to achieve them. You've shown persistence and determination. And I also have no doubt that most of you have learnt the art of juggling priorities. Many of you have overcome very significant challenges in order to complete your studies. And these are not just qualities that have enabled you to gain your well-earned qualifications. They are qualities that will assist you as you build your careers. Your success in completing your course is one of many successes that you will enjoy in life. Be proud of what you've achieved and know that your parents, your families, your friends, and all the staff who've been a part of your time with us are equally delighted with your success. You're graduating from a university that is highly regarded, not just nationally, but internationally. Victoria University, I think as most of you know by now, is ranked in the top 2% of universities worldwide. It's also been ranked as number 56 of the hundreds of universities that are less than 50 years old, and 55 in the hundreds of universities in the Asia-Pacific region. All of these rankings are from the prestigious Times Higher Education Survey. The success of our university is also your success. It gives prestige to your qualification, and you can proudly claim that you're a graduate of one of the world's best universities. You can say that you're a graduate of a modern university that's done its best to equip you to meet the needs of the 21st century. We aspire to the highest standards of teaching and learning, and we aim to provide our students with first-class facilities in which to learn. Our intention is to create the best student experience possible, and we value your safety and well-being as well. We promote equitable, respectful relationships, and we believe everyone has the right to live, work and study in a safe environment without fear. No doubt, you've all seen the media reports today and yesterday regarding the incidents of sexual assault and harassment at Australian universities. This was released yesterday by the Human Rights Commission. But can I say to you that well before that study was commissioned, Victoria University implemented a whole suite of measures to ensure the safety of our students and staff, and we believe that these are making an impact. However, I want to assert that even one incident is one too many, and we will strive to stamp out as much of this kind of behaviour as we can. The university experience that you've enjoyed is an exciting and intellectually stimulating experience, but I know that it can also be challenging to absorb so much new information and to juggle your university commitments with the demands of your personal life. I hope that VU has proved to be a university that is supportive of your individual needs. The university is always exploring ways to continue to improve our services by tailoring out the support that we provide to students so that every student's unique requirements are satisfied. We want you to be leaders, not followers. We want you to be innovators, not people bound by tradition. And we, the university, also strives to be innovative and will continue to do so. Next year, I think, as everyone knows, we're introducing an Australia First with our unique first-year college program, which will support students to maximise their potential as they make the difficult transition to tertiary education. Now, because you're all graduating and you've completed your studies, first year may not seem of relevance to you. However, as alumni of Victoria University, the value of your qualification will be enhanced as our reputation continues to grow. Through your tertiary study, we've helped you develop skills such as analytical and critical thinking, but the acquisition of knowledge must be a synergy of the theoretical and the practical. VU has an established reputation for preparing students for the world of work. We do this through a multiplicity of partnerships with business and industry, by involving practitioners in the development and delivery of our courses, and by giving as many of our students practical work placements. We strive to provide you with the knowledge, the skills, and the experience to help you excel in your chosen career. The College of Law and Justice offers programs designed to ensure that our students graduate with a legal education which includes diverse practical experience. Graduates, such as yourselves, can differentiate yourselves in the workforce because as part of your studies, you've participated in clinical legal education programs. You've also enjoyed the benefits of the college's strong connections to the legal profession, including West Justice, Victoria Legal Aid, Victoria Police, the Magistrates Court of Victoria, as well as many private law firms, including Rob Starry's Starry Law. For those of you graduating from the College of Sport and Exercise Science, you know that VU is one of Australia's, indeed the world's, leading sports universities. It is renowned for not only its outstanding facilities and its excellent teaching and research, it's also envied for the depth and breadth of its industry partnerships. And none has been more important to us than our partnership with the successful Premiership club in AFL, the Western Bulldogs. With the benefit of the education offered by these two colleges, as you graduate and leave us to embark on your career, consider how you might use the skills that you've acquired to strengthen the communities from which you have come, or the communities you are destined to become part of. During your time at VU, I hope that one of the things that you've come to understand is that our vision is to not only help our students succeed, but to strengthen our society. If we can build healthier and resilient communities, we are helping to give future generations, perhaps your younger siblings or your children, we're helping to give them a better start in life. Today, about 265 of you will graduate, and I encourage all of you to remain connected to the Victoria University community as a member of the Alumni Association in order to continue to build your personal and professional networks. I have no doubt that you will be wonderful ambassadors for Victoria University. So I congratulate you once again, and to the family and friends and all the other supporters who are with us and with you today, can I just say that although this is a formal ceremony, it's also a celebration. And because it is a celebration at Victoria University, we want to hear you celebrating. We want you to clap. We want you to cheer. We want you to do that as loudly and as enthusiastically as possible when each of the graduands comes up on stage to receive their awards. And those of you who've been to other Victoria University graduation ceremonies will know that I am a very strict disciplinarian as far as this requirement is concerned. And if I'm not happy with the level of applause, I'll stop the ceremony and ask you to increase it. So please feel free to celebrate. All the graduands have worked hard to get here, and they deserve your enthusiastic recognition. Now, graduands, could you all please stand? You've passed many tests. These are now some of the final ones to see if you can stand properly, and you have. Well done. This is the important part of the ceremony for you. You've all noticed that I've been describing you and addressing you as graduands, not as graduates. That's because you haven't quite graduated just yet. But you're about to, because I'm going to say the important words that will transform you from graduands to graduates. And to assist me, I call upon the chair of the academic board, Ms. Deborah Tyler, to present the authorised record of all conferred graduates for this ceremony and for those in absentia. Thank you, Deborah. And now, the important part. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Council of Victoria University, I admit the duly authorised graduates to the appropriate rewards and to all the rights and all the privileges of those awards. Congratulations. now you're all graduates, but I'm going to ask you to do one more thing before you sit down. Your friends and your family and all your supporters are in the audience, mostly behind you. So I'd like you to turn around and to face them. They're all there. You probably can't see them, but they're all there. And I want the graduates to give their friends and their family a round of applause to say thank you. Thank you for all the support that you have given us to get us here today. Thank you, friends and family.
Please be seated. Thank you, Chancellor. I now call upon the Dean of the College of Law and Justice, Professor Michael Stuckey.
Chancellor, I am honoured to present the graduates from the College of Law and Justice. The following graduate has been awarded the Diploma of Legal Services. Demetrius Georgakoulis. The following graduates have been awarded the Bachelor of Laws. Susan Ahmadi. Yes.
I don't think you heard me. It's a celebration. I haven't heard one cheer. Yeah. So when they come up on stage, cheer, clap, because they put an enormous amount of work into getting here, and that should be recognised. And just remember this, we're not like all those other stuffy universities. We celebrate at Victoria University, and I want you all to join in. Professor.
Jonathan Kenneth Barlow. Kate Louise Bicknell. Elise Kutzilla. Christopher John Dawes. Robert Hennessy. Daria Hussain. Jonathan Hutton. Rebecca Ann John. Rebecca Hannah Johnsey. Elise Claire Johnson. Jamie Che Joniak. Andrew Lee Kerr. Svetlana Limarev. Hannah Louise Lunt. Sarah Vanessa Karen Deloro Macapacao. Marco Mann. Terence Brian Meehan. Sumeye Mema Orlo. Annie Nguyen. Annie Ngai In. Celeste Marie Olsen. Ezra Oz. Anthony Panopoulos. Michael Patane. Wayne Demantha Pereira. Bradley Petruccelli. Bianca Nicole Pyers. Mohammed Mustafa Rahmani. Giselle Arlette Roman. Daniela Francis Sajeva. Michael Scarini. Shadia Shamin. Aurora Shi. Manjot Singh. Nicholas Lee Smith. Eden Melissa Smith. Monique Tony Thatcher. Catherine Laura Thompson. Fiona Truong. Manuela Volpe. The following graduates have been awarded the Bachelor of Laws with honours. Kenneth John Burchett. J. Nicholas Coverdale. Melissa Mary Dalmau. Badrea Lana Elbob. Rhiannon Louise Foley. Sean Davidson Hewitt. Kylie Annette Jeames. Jessica Lee Knox. Nico Cordos. Joseph Stephen Kozlowski. Bianca Jade Neofitu. Iman Osman. Stephen John Tamburan. Tedros Yabio. The following graduate has been awarded the Bachelor of Legal Practice Management. Caitlin Joy Price. The following graduate has been awarded the Bachelor of Legal Services. Emily Joan Thompson. The following graduates have been awarded the Bachelor of Laws, Bachelor of Arts. Dragana Borojevic. Kajan Branca. Mark Anthony Chincotta. Hannah Claire Lyon. Natalie Marie Tomlins. Ailal Top. Alexander Din Tran. The following graduates have been awarded the Bachelor of Laws with Honours, Bachelor of Arts. Debbie Efterpi Bletsas. Gabriella Catherine Ferraro. Matthew Harry Hall. Daniel John Thompson. The following graduate has been awarded the Bachelor of Laws with Honours, Bachelor of Business Accounting. Chris Papadopoulos. The following graduate has been awarded the Bachelor of Laws, Bachelor of Business, Banking and Finance. Kim Nguyen. The following graduate has been awarded the Bachelor of Laws, Bachelor of Business, Human Resource Management. Tania Pereira Kankangine. The following graduate has been awarded the Bachelor of Laws, Bachelor of Business, International Trade. Hassan Hamkat. The following graduate has been awarded Bachelor of Laws Honours. Laila Noor. The following graduates have been awarded the Graduate Certificate in Australian Migration Law and Practice. Takir Ahmad. Dutsadilek Akara Sakulakiat. Nicholas Allen. Salwan Hassan Amara. Diraj Arora. Thomas Arthur. Jovana Ludmila Babli Parapen. Gunit Bajaj. Karan Bajaj. Ping Ping Bao. Fadi Barakat. Isabel Basford. Sarah Scott Bird. Devendra Singh Bra. VAS Crystal T. Cabral. Tian Tian Kai. Bakita Kana. Jagjit Singh Chima. Gopi Chengareddy. Dr. Emil Chidiak. Subhashini Chilakuri. Piria Chomsuan. Dominic Cicerale. Rezvan Darab. Jyoti Dawadi. Suman Deuja. Yi Dong. Michael Dooley. Majok Abian Dung. Madhu Sudan Dugal. Anthony El Assad. Noreen Fatima. Sharon Kushani Fernando. Fabio Alberto Granados Mendoza. Hashim Minhaja. Mustafa Homapur. Akhil Jawal. Elma Divinagracia Javier. Bikas Kandel. Rabint Kaki. Sanjeev Karmacharya. Santosh Khanna. Manpreet Kaur. Jaspreet Kaur. Ramandeep Kaur. Adam Kite. Grace Lee. Yao Pang Mak. Rima Makar. Vishal Maria. Masa Mohammed Abdullah. Shannon Mulgrew. Samira Nasufov. Linda Ngo. Paras Papas. Rupesh Pathak. Deepak Punjabi. Mohammed Minsawa Rahman. Asad Rashid. Desmond Anthony Ryan. Jose Mari Salveron. Satvinder Singh Sandhu. Tyrone Sena Viratne. Saeed Hassan Ali Shah. Manpreet Sidhu. Chetan Preet Singh. Kaushang Gautam Shah. Sarabjit Singh. Natalie Siungas. Raj Lama Tamang. Aristotle Tanang. Toan Tran. Analitza Villanueva. Hiu Nam Wu. Xuxian Zhu. Yuan Yang. Wen Yang. Yang Yi. Musa Zahir. Ling Zhang. The following graduates have been awarded the Master of Laws, Applied Migration Law. Patty Coe. Nikhom Fang. Ravinder Pal Singh. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of the graduates from the College of Law and Justice. Chancellor, I now call upon the Dean, College of Sport and Exercise Science, Professor Hans Vesterbeek.
Chancellor, I'm honoured to present the graduates from the College of Sport and Exercise Science. The following graduates have been awarded the Bachelor of Exercise Science and Human Movement. Jack Nicholas Hancock. The following graduates have been awarded the Bachelor of Exercise Science after undertaking the specialization in one or more of the following: clinical practice, sport practice. Russell Anthony Boyle. Monica Demowski. Stephanie Sarah Geljar. Jordan Harding. Temi Yanezzo. Reese Connor Jones. Jared Kelly. James Cristanto. Jonathan Likidaris. Jake Robert George McBride. Rebecca Mary McCarthy. Reese William Painter. Jack Lewis Papa. Alexander Radoja. Kieran Smith. Adam Damien Sterling. Zaylan Colfer Velou. Christian Blair Bazal. Corey Michael Edwards. Benjamin Gilson. Christopher Nicholas James. Dwight Marinkovic. James Andrew Mullins. Maxwell Norton. Luke Scott Newton. Michael John Stacey Pengelly. Mario Popovic. Lachlan Jeffrey Porter. The following graduates have been awarded the Bachelor of Sport and Recreation Management. Anthony Bolzanello. Hon Ki Min. Lauren Lee Salter. Yongwan Seo. Emma Louise Young. The following graduates have been awarded the Bachelor of Sports Coaching. Reese Anthony Andrietta. Jackson Robert Bennett. Kian Bryan. Cameron Lewis Davies. Michael Richard Crowin. Sarah Jean Morgan. Jonathan Peter Monroe. Melisa Murphy. Rachel Napolitano. Samantha Ebony Partridge. Donovan Stridham. Jonathan Villagracia. The following graduate has been awarded the Bachelor of Sport Management: Samuel James Fox. The following graduates have been awarded the Bachelor of Sports Science after undertaking the specialization in one or more of the following: exercise science, human movement, physical education, secondary. Taylor Aikson. Kirsty Marie Lamb. Dalen Brand McDonald. Ashley Christian Ossini. Harrison Redding. Valentin Utek. Ruby Fraser. Tyson Shaw. Omar Abdo. Murat Altindagli. Isabella Maria Ataidi. Michelle Leanne Christofoli. Sina Gonen. Carla Interlandi. Brent James Lampard. Bradley Mark Douglas Ower. Holly Annabella Payne. Georgia Allen Punton. Prithvi Shiva Singh. Jessica Jane Spateri. Franka Zigic. The following graduates have been awarded the Bachelor of Exercise Science and Human Movement, Bachelor of Psychological Studies: Aaron Lezar. Eduardo Enrique Morales. The following graduates have been awarded the Bachelor of Exercise Science and Human Movement, Bachelor of Sport and Recreation Management: Amy Kate Griffin. Billy James Prosser. Bridget Ann Wharton. Blake David Young. The following graduates have been awarded the Bachelor of Sport and Recreation Management, Bachelor of Business, after undertaking the business specialization in one or more of the following: event management, management, or marketing. Kirby Shannon McLean. Sean Hetherington. Christopher Robert Moreau. Ebony Someropoulos. The following graduates have been awarded the Bachelor of Applied Science Honours Human Movement: Peter Ronald Brown. Jack Hines. Alice Tucker. The following graduates have been awarded the Master of Clinical Exercise Science and Rehabilitation: Catherine Louise Banks. Jade Elise Doonan. Michael Firma. Sarah Jane King. Christy Rose Mellerick. Marcel Yvette Reeve. Alexander Bentasi, who's also a VU staff member. Stephanie Marie Tomaszewski. Annabelle Watson. Dylan Yayanta Samuel Witheranaki. Amy Elise Wright. The following graduates have been awarded the Master of Sport Business and Integrity: Chloe Beach. Adrian Ross Dixon. Luke Howlett. Philip John Lovell. Robert Tellison. The following graduate has been awarded the Master of Sports Science Football Performance: Olivia Bernadette Getson. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates from the College of Sport and Exercise Science. Chancellor. I call upon the Dean Graduate Research, Professor Anne-Marie Heed, to present the doctoral candidates.
Chancellor, Doctor of Philosophy degrees are conferred on those who have completed a major program of original research, resulting in a significant new contribution to knowledge in the relevant field. The work generally includes a critical review of the literature, a systematic form of inquiry, and the preparation of a substantial thesis reporting the outcomes of the research. Chancellor, I present to you Zulakbal bin Abdul Karim, who by reason of a thesis entitled Development State Characteristics of Football Coaches in Australia and Malaysia, has satisfied the requirements for admission to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Zulakbal used evolved grounded theory and cross-cultural techniques to explore coach development themes with a stratified sample of 24 accredited A, B and C licensed coaches. 4 overarching themes and 24 sub-themes form the basis of a new football coach development model. This model is expected to translate into better coach education, training and professional development of football coaches. Zulakbal's principal supervisor was Associate Professor Daryl Marchant, and his associate supervisor was Dr. Tony Morris. Chancellor, Dr. Zulakbal bin Abdul Karim. Chancellor, I present to you Ashlyn Kimberly Fraser, who by reason of a thesis entitled Psychological Studies Investigating the Effect of Homeostatic Plasticity of the Motor Cortex on the Expression of Muscle Strength, has satisfied the requirements for admission to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Ashlyn successfully induced homeostatic brain plasticity and confirmed its efficacy in improving neural and functional responses to strength training. She also found that the BDNF gene impacted neural but not functional responses to training. Her findings, which have been published and presented internationally, have potential to influence the development of strength training programs in clinical settings. Ashlyn's principal supervisor was Associate Professor Michael Spittle, and her associate supervisor was Dr. Jacqueline Williams. Chancellor, Dr. Ashlyn Kimberly Fraser. Chancellor, I present to you Karen Hart, who by reason of a thesis entitled The Efficacy of Community Justice Intervention Services to Increase Social Capital and Reduce Incarceration for Young Adults, has satisfied the requirements for admission to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Karen examined whether the Sunshine Youth Community and Law Program provided young offenders in incarceration with resilience against the factors that cause their offending behaviour. Karen found that the young adults in her study were responsive to positive change opportunities and that the intrinsic elements within the case manager-young offender therapeutic relationship provided the factors for optimal engagement and empathy, such that relatively fewer reoffended. Karen's principal supervisor was Dr. Edwin Tanner, and her associate supervisor was Professor Neil Andrews. Chancellor, Dr. Karen Hart. Chancellor, I present to you Matthew William Hunter Innes, who by reason of a thesis entitled Attitude and Team Sport Athlete Physical Performance, Relevance and Time course for adaptation, has satisfied the requirements for admission to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Matthew's thesis applied altitude training in 3 different ways to enhance team sport athlete performance. 3 studies have been published in prestigious journals with high impact. Matthew's research directly informs practice in elite team sports around the world, notably the Western Bulldogs and Hurricanes Super Rugby clubs, both champions in their leagues in 2016. Matthew's principal supervisor was Associate Professor Robert Augie, and his associate supervisor was Dr. Francois Bilal. Chancellor, Dr. Matthew William Hunter Innes. Chancellor, I present to you Tuirei Katerina Kara Haju Huisman, who by reason of a thesis entitled The Probability of Slipping During Level Walking has satisfied the requirements for admission to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Worldwide, slips and trips are the major causes of falls in the elderly. Tuirei investigated slipping risk in young and older adults by applying a novel modelling approach to foot-ground biomechanics data. Tuirei's research has made a significant contribution to slipping biomechanics, and for the first time, the probability of slipping during walking. Tuirei's principal supervisor was Professor Razul Beg, and her associate supervisor was Dr. Tony Sparrow. Chancellor, Dr. Tuirei Katerina Kaharaju Huisman. Chancellor, I present to you Lewin Parker, who by reason of a thesis entitled Exercise Intensity and Glycemic Control, the Role of Redox Status and Redox-Sensitive Protein Kinase Signalling in Humans, has satisfied the requirements for admission to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. In the context of global physical inactivity and obesity epidemic, Lewin's thesis explored the role of high-intensity intermittent exercise for improving blood glucose control in populations at high risk of developing diabetes. Lewin investigated a novel mechanism of action and demonstrated that reactive oxygen species, often considered to cause disease, mediated the beneficial effects of high intensity on blood glucose control through redox-sensitive protein signalling in human muscle. Lewin's principal supervisor was Associate Professor Nigel Steptoe, and his associate supervisors were Associate Professor Itamar Leffenginger and Dr. Christopher Shaw. Chancellor, Dr. Lewin Parker. Chancellor, I present to you Jeannie Connie Rotinsulu, who by reason of a thesis entitled The Role of Good Corporate Governance Codes in Enhancing Accountability for Effective Disclosure in Indonesia, has satisfied the requirements for the admission to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Connie's research investigated the problems of endemic corruption in using formal law for disclosure in Indonesian corporate governance. She considered the effectiveness of alternative informal or soft law in voluntary codes of disclosure. The examiners described her work being of intellectual authority and originality. They recommended its publication to inform policy making in other emerging economies. Jeannie's principal supervisor was Professor Neil Andrews, and her associate supervisor was Professor Andrew Clark. Chancellor, Dr. Jeannie Connie Rotitsulu. Chancellor, I present to you Briar Louise Rudzitz, who by reason of a thesis entitled Assessing, Understanding and Improving the Limits of Neuromuscular Function on a Stationary Cycle Ergometer, has satisfied the requirements for admission to the Doctor of Philosophy. Briar's thesis makes a significant contribution to the definition of new methods and new training interventions to evaluate, monitor and develop the power generating capacity of the lower limbs. Her work has strong practical implications for sports scientists, working with cycling athletes and coaches, but also for exercise physiologists, working with clinical populations affected by impaired mobility. Briar's principal supervisor was Dr. David Ruffey, and her associate supervisors were Dr. Simon Taylor and Professor Andrew Stewart. Chancellor, Dr. Briar Louise Rudzitz. Chancellor, I present to you Alice Jane Sweeting, who by reason of a thesis entitled Discovering the Movement Sequences of Elite and Junior Elite Netball Athletes, has satisfied the requirements for admission to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Alice's thesis developed and applied novel data mining methods with the potential to revolutionise the way athlete tracking data is used in world sport. Alice's thesis delivered high-impact sports science to the world champion Australian netball team, the Diamonds. Alice won an award at a national conference, and her work has been published in high-ranking international journals. Alice's principal supervisor was Associate Professor Robert Augie, and her associate supervisors were Dr. Stuart Morgan and Dr. Stuart McCormack. Chancellor, Dr. Alice Jean Sweeting. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of doctoral candidates. I now call upon the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Peter Dawkins.
Chancellor, it's with great honour that I now present the University Medal for Excellence. University medals are awarded to those graduates who have achieved consistent excellence over the duration of their course. Medals are awarded in the following categories: the highest achieving undergraduate vocational education, undergraduate higher education, postgraduate by coursework and postgraduate research graduate. The recipient of the Medal of Excellence in Undergraduate Honours for the College of Law and Justice is Iman Osman. Iman received a grade point average of 6.3 and achieved excellent academic results during her studies. Please welcome Iman Osman. The recipient of the Medal of Excellence in Postgraduate Research for the College of Sport and Exercise Science is Lewin Parker. Lewin's research was funded through multiple grants, and he recently received the VU Institute of Sport, Exercise and Active Living Award for Excellence in Early Career Research and has been nominated for the 2017 VU Young Achiever Award. Please welcome Lewin Parker. The recipient of the Medal of Excellence in Postgraduate Research for the College of Law and Justice is Tawfiq Rachman. Tawfiq achieved excellent results during his studies and received a scholarship from the Indonesian Directorate General of Higher Education to support his PhD studies. Please welcome Tawfiq Rachman. The recipient of the Medal of Excellence in Undergraduate Studies for the College of Sport and Exercise Science is Beau Branch. Beau achieved a grade point average of 6.75 and achieved 18 high distinctions and 6 distinctions during his studies. Beau is currently overseas and unable to attend the ceremony today. His award will be accepted by Dr. Michael Burke from the College of Sport and Exercise Science. Chancellor, I'm now extremely honoured to present the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Victoria University is proud to honour Mr. Peter Gordon for his eminent community service through his work as a legal practitioner over 30 years, leading successful class actions for traditionally disadvantaged clients. He is internationally renowned for his work on numerous landmark legal cases, and he has worked at the cutting edge of mass tort and consumer class action litigation. His pioneering efforts have resulted in financial compensation for thousands of men and women who otherwise would have lacked the resources to pursue their rightful claims. Growing up in West Footscray, Mr. Gordon attended primary and secondary school in Braybrook and graduated Dux of St John's College in Braybrook. He enrolled at the University of Melbourne Law School in 1976. After just 2 years, he volunteered at the Williamstown Legal Referral Service, and this experience confirmed his career ambitions. He graduated in 1979. As a law student, he started the Western Suburbs Legal Service in 1978, offering high-quality, free, independent legal advice and representation to people who live, work or study in the Western Suburbs. He initially worked there full-time and then part-time pro bono for the next 6 years. Mr. Gordon joined Slater & Gordon in 1980, helped open the Footscray office in 1984, and led the national expansion of the firm into Sydney and Perth in 1986. He remained with the firm for about 30 years, becoming a partner in 1989, senior partner in 1995, and was chair when it became the first law firm in the world to publicly list in 2007. He resigned as a non-executive director of Slater & Gordon in 2009. In 1985, Mr. Gordon obtained the first successful asbestos cancer damages verdict in Australia. And since that time, he has acted for over 2,000 people in successful claims over asbestos-induced disease. His work for Wittenoom asbestos miners established the right of Australian workers to claim punitive damages for their employer, and also established the direct tort liability of parent companies whose guiding hand put the employees of their subsidiary companies in harm's way. In 1990, he also conducted the world's first medically acquired AIDS trial against a blood bank, eventually resolving all 566 medically acquired HIV cases in Australia. His work for Catholic Church sex abuse victims brought the first Australian mass legal challenge to the tort immunity claimed by the Catholic Church and Christian Brothers orders. His work for women injured by defective breast implants established a pathway for litigants outside the United States to bypass the automatic stay provisions of Chapter 11 of the US Bankruptcy Code and led to the first mass settlement against Dow Corning in bankruptcy. The High Court victory achieved for Braybrook man Brian Crimmins established a precedent through which hundreds of Australian waterside workers afflicted by asbestos disease could recover compensation. His 13 years of litigation against the tobacco industry, including for the US Department of Justice, exposed tobacco company document practices found in courts in Australia and the United States to be fraudulent, and provided valuable insights into how to litigate against big tobacco. The McCabe case led to law reform in Victoria to prevent abusive corporate destruction of evidence. He represented the Australian Council of Trade Unions and asbestos support groups victims in the 2003 James Hardie inquiry. He subsequently worked with the ACTU to achieve a $2 billion settlement with James Hardie with present and future victims. After leaving Slater & Gordon, he commenced his own legal practice, Gordon Legal, and commenced a class action for Australian and New Zealand survivors of thalidomide. His work challenged and then redefined the range of birth malformations which may be associated with thalidomide, and the class action eventually tripled the number of people in those countries to receive recognition and compensation as thalidomide survivors. Throughout his career, Mr. Gordon has been a passionate advocate for those who have found it difficult to obtain support, representing injured workers, claimants, consumers and aggrieved shareholders. He has a strong commitment to being a lawyer for the little people rather than the big corporations. Outside his legal career, Mr. Gordon became the youngest ever president of an Australian rules football club in 1989 when he became president of the then Footscray Football Club. His leadership of the fight to save Footscray Football Club, now the Western Bulldogs, from closure or merger is well documented. His passion for the club remains unabated, and on again becoming president in 2013, his mission to establish the Bulldogs as a successful club for the Western region. He's continued his commitment to the community as president, being a driving force behind the club's Sons of the West initiative, a men's health program available to men over the age of 18 from the western suburbs. Since his appointment as president, he has championed the relationship between the Western Bulldogs and Victoria University, speaking publicly about the importance of the partnership to the club. Chancellor, in recognition of his outstanding community service as a legal practitioner for traditionally disadvantaged clients and his contribution to the law through his pioneering work at the cutting edge of mass tort and consumer class action litigation, I present to you for admission to the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, Mr. Peter Gordon.
He hasn't quite made it yet. Remember, I have to say the important words. Peter, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Council of Victoria University, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Congratulations. Fantastic. That was the most incredibly enthusiastic round of applause. Well done. That's for you. Thank you.
Thank you. It's one of the more humbling experiences of my life, and I appreciate your very generous reception. I truly do. I'm honoured also that my family and friends are here, and I thank you, particularly those who are battling illness, through 266 rounds of applause. Congratulations to everybody who has become a graduate tonight. It's fair to say, as you would have heard, that the practice of law and commitment to or a career or passion in sport and sports administration have been the two driving passions of my professional life, and so I'm both honoured to be presented with this award tonight and thrilled for all of you. I hope that you have great careers ahead. I know that the careers that I've had in both of these areas have been enormously rewarding for me. Congratulations also to everyone who received a doctoral award tonight. I was truthfully a little troubled to receive this award because I've wrestled with whether the notion of honorary doctorates is altogether fair to people like you who earn their doctorates through years of study and academic excellence. Though I will say that the desire to feel less intimidated the next time I'm in an argument in a Western Bulldogs list management meeting with Victoria University's newest adjunct professor, Luke Beveridge, was something of a counter. The next time he says to me, "Call me professor when you ask that," I'll be able to say, "Okay, well, you call me Mr. President, Doctor, Sir." So I was particularly thrilled, may I say, for Dr. Matthew Innes, Matty Innes, who is the last voice you hear at the post-match briefing after every Western Bulldogs game, when he tells 22 exhausted players who've just been through 120 minutes of footy what sort of rehab exercises they need to do. Hopefully they'll listen to you with a bit more authority now, Matty. So well done to everyone. I am very proud of my legal work over the last 40 years and honoured when I reflect back on the many great lawyers and other professionals that I've worked with and been opposed to stand like the hero of To Kill a Mockingbird, Atticus Finch, did for a principle which may be unpopular with the public and unfashionable with the judiciary in pursuit of justice for common people is the finest tradition of the law and the very best part of being a lawyer. Knowing that you have done so somehow shows victory and defeat to be the impostors that Rudyard Kipling rightly identified them as so many years ago in his epic poem, If. What's important in your legal career, in your sporting career, is to stand for something and to give it your all. I would never have made, I believe, a very good academic. I was neither confident enough nor good enough to pursue academic excellence for its own sake. But as a practicing lawyer, fighting cases, 3 propositions about knowledge and about new ideas became more and more apparent to me as my career went on and more important, and I'd like to share them with you, if you'll permit me. First, developments in the law, the making of new law, were always adjuncts to fighting for a legal cause that you believed was worth fighting for. Second, for me, it's always been the merit of the idea and not the title or the authority of the person expressing it that really counts. And third, you've got to keep on keeping on. Often, even when you lose a case, particularly if it's a case around a new idea or a new theory, you're paving the way for a future court, a future litigant, to find a way to get justice done. In my career, I've seen article clerks and law students just like you come up with the most brilliant ideas and notions which have changed the law and become game changers in huge billion-dollar class actions. And likewise, I've seen some of the most senior judges in our state and in our country stuff it up and bastardise the law to protect the privileged and the powerful. In the legal profession, there is no binary relationship between seniority and status and being right. I brought suit against venerable institutions, as Peter said, like the Red Cross over a contaminated blood supply and the Catholic Church over institutional sex abuse, not to be controversial, but because they had, through their blind eyes, through their negligence, put innocent people, my clients, in harm's way. The Catholic Church always seemed to get a charmed run in our courts, almost by divine intervention, it seemed. But the fight was important, and 20 years after we brought those first claims, it's inspiring to see the courage of victims and the courage of the Royal Commission today working on what had been done 20 years ago to get justice done. Hopefully in the future, the so-called Alice defence of the Catholic Church, which was in fact first successful in claims in lawsuits that I brought against the Catholic Church in the 1990s, and in which church corporations are ruled to have no liability to their victims because they're only property holding companies, will take into account the real fact that the use of church property to conduct, harbour, control and hide sexual assault should mean that their purpose as property holding companies is not a defence but in fact an aspect of their liability. More broadly, hopefully one day our courts will apply the law to the companies of the Catholic Church as it is applied to every other company in Australia, and rule that it's not why a company is expressed to have been set up which is relevant, but what it actually does. As Peter said, I challenged the tobacco industry's systematic destruction of documentary evidence, not because it was an interesting legal point, but because it was criminal activity, central to denying justice to a whole generation of Australian kids lured into the deadly smoking habit. The propensity of the Australian judiciary in several jurisdictions to bend over backwards for the interests of the tobacco industry in various iterations of the McCabe case and other cases brought by health groups against the tobacco industry over the last 30 years will inevitably be seen by legal historians to be a disgrace to our legal system. Increasingly, it's already seen to be so. The recent overruling of the Philip Morrison-Nixon decision in the Federal Court, the findings against British American Tobacco in the US Federal District Court in USA and Philip Morris, and the recent article reviewing the McCabe case by Dr. Christine Parker and others in the Melbourne University Law Review make me optimistic that this will be the case. And I derive great personal satisfaction from the fact that recently, in successive challenges to the Australian government's plain packaging legislation, the first in its field in the world, the tobacco industry's legal chicanery seems to have lost its beguiling charm to the courts. Those of us who fought and lost against the tobacco industry can take pride in the way that we paved. More recently, I challenged orthodox thinking on thalidomide embryopathy, not because it was interesting, although it was really interesting, but because an arrogant and myopic medical establishment in the 1960s had used it to deny thousands of thalidomide survivors recognition for the birth malformation that they'd suffered for over 50 years. In my own mind, academic institutions and indeed the judiciary are at their most valuable when they're not in an ivory tower wrestling with esoteric concepts in the ether, but when they're responsive to and interacting with their communities, interacting to help out the communities. What conservatives decry as judicial activism is really simply applying the law with an eye to doing justice in our community. Which brings me to the other reason why I was prepared to come and accept this tonight. I'm proud and honoured to accept this award, deeply honoured, because the honour is offered by this university, Victoria University, the University of the West. I accepted the Western Bulldog Board's invitation to return as president of the Footscray Football Club in late 2012 after a 16-year vacation from the job and after an extensive due diligence, and that due diligence had two really important components. One was a series of long discussions I had with Chancellor George Pappas, who then was a very senior member of the club's board, and who talked to me about the possibilities of what might be possible, and what might be possible because of the unique advantage that the Victoria University Bulldogs partnership might provide the Bulldogs. And the second was to interview the staff and tour the facilities like the High Altitude Hotel and the Biomechanics Lab of the university, and to see that George's vision was not just words or thoughts, but was already functional across a number of football department programs. It's been the University of the West, partnered with the Club of the West, in a quixotic mission to slingshot past the richer, better resourced AFL clubs. Together, standing for something, giving it our best, investing in ideas, and undeterred by setbacks in order to achieve something for the people of our community, people who've been deprived of it for so long. I haven't been bestowed with a lot of awards in my life, and so I hope you'll understand that I struggled a bit to know what to say tonight. But somehow that process started me down a reflection on that partnership that I've lived and advocated between the club and the university for the last 5 years, that's been so vital to the success that's been so evident in the last 12 months. To the vision and the passion and the leadership of George Pappas, to the vision and the support of Peter Dawkins, may I say the only person to predict in October 2014, when we lost our captain and our coach in successive days, that we would win the AFL flag 2 years later. Not to forget his predecessor, Liz Harmon, whose partnership with the club's own visionary former CEO Campbell Rose played such an important role in what's been achieved in recent years. The uniquely talented VU Associate Professor Sam Robertson, whose genius has cut the Bulldogs' competitive advantage time and again on the field these last few years. Warren Payne, Ros Casey, and the remarkable Gai Hamilton, whose contribution to the club, its foundation, the Western Suburbs and the university is a remarkable achievement. Damien Farrow of the university and his partnership with our own football manager Graham Lowe. We've seen the renaissance of a once out of favour and decrepit Whitten Oval into the now vibrant Victoria University Whitten Oval. We've seen it grow into a vibrant campus and community hub. We've worked together on men's health programs and now women's health programs and a range of other community programs. We've won 2 VFL flags for the Victoria University Footscray football team in the VFL to add to the AFL premiership we achieved last year. I'm honoured to be here tonight. I'm honoured to be here with all of my family, all of whom I'm very proud of. My oldest friend Rob Starry, with whom I started the Western Suburbs Legal Service way back in 1978. My great friend Paul Henderson, who endured decades of making ends meet and making the payroll at Slater and Gordon over 25 years. And with my friend Jack Rush, with whom I fought all those battles over Wittenoom, against James Hardy, against the Catholic Church, against British American Tobacco, against the makers of thalidomide, and the list goes on. He made a very average suburban solicitor look a lot better than he was. With my friends past and present, Gai Hamilton, Kylie Watson-Wheeler, Gary Kent, hope I'm not missing anyone down there, with whom I've had the great privilege of caretaking the historic and the important Western Bulldogs Football Club for the people of this community. And most importantly, my wife Kerry. So much of what I've achieved these last 25 years has in fact been our partnership and her constancy. Thank you very much to the university for bestowing this very considerable honour on me today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gordon, and congratulations. I now invite Nico Cordis to speak on behalf of the graduates. Nico graduated today with a Bachelor of Laws with honours. Nico is highly respected by his fellow students and lecturers. He achieved a grade point average of 6.2 and is passionate about commercial law and consumer advocacy and volunteers at the Mental Health Legal Centre. Among his many achievements, Nico was an oralist at the International Arbitration Moot held in Vienna and was the 2016 Director of Equity and Diversity for the Law Student Society. And during his studies, Nico was the Senior Editor of the Victoria University Law Journal. Would you please now welcome Nico Cordis.
Chancellor. In the spirit of reconciliation, I wish to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, and I pay my respects to their elders past and present and any who may be here today. I wish to acknowledge the Vice-Chancellor Peter Dawkins and our most distinguished guest, the newly titled Dr. Peter Gordon, the academic and teaching staff here, our family and friends, and of course, my fellow graduates. Now, I'm very aware that in addition to this evening, we have just spent years listening to speeches and lectures. So in the interest of brevity, I'll try to be concise. I thank the university for giving me this honour and privilege to speak on not just my own College of Law and Justice, but also on behalf of the College of Sports and Exercise Science. I couldn't think of two better faculties to represent. In particular, I thank my parents, Bill and Helen, who have always indulged my pursuits and offered me their advice and opinions, even when I wasn't asking for them. I would like to thank my two older brothers, Yanni and George, themselves lawyers, condolences to my mum, who taught me a lot about what to do and what not to do during my studies. And in true Greek fashion, my whole family is here today. So please bear with me now one moment while I address my grandparents in their mother tongue. Για τις γιαγιάδες και τους παππούδες μου, σας ευχαριστούμε πολύ για όλα όσα κάνετε για την οικογένεια μας. Ελπίζω να σας έκανα τόσο επερήφανους για μένα, όσο επερήφανος είμαι και εγώ για σας. Σας αγαπώ με όλη την καρδιά μου. Ευχαριστώ. Finally, I thank my beloved partner, Amaya. She has been there since my first orientation day at university, and were it not for her support and guidance, I would not have achieved half the things that were just mentioned. Thank you. Now, as I look into the crowd of graduates today, thank you. As I look into the crowd of graduates today, I see many familiar faces and some not so familiar faces, but we are all the result of a Victoria University education. And while many of you will no doubt go out and celebrate this milestone today, I encourage each and every one of us to stay in touch with each other and the university. Do whatever you can to give back to the VU community. This is your community. These are your peers. We should try stick together. Now, it is customary in giving a speech such as this to provide a quote of sorts. In the past, speakers have quoted from religious texts, whether it be the Talmud, the Bible, or the Quran. But for today's speech, I went to my own Bible for inspiration, my family's CD and record collection. It just so happens that one of my favourite frontmen also happens to be an evolutionary biology academic at Cornell University in America, Dr. Greg Graffin. And he said this back in the 90s before the turn of the century. Millennia incoming, the modern age is here. It sanctifies the future, yet renders us with fear. So many theories, so many prophecies, but what we need now is a change of ideas. I feel the need for a change of ideas is as relevant now as it's ever been. The world is moving at a pace greater than ever before. And if anyone is suited to question the status quo and tackle the challenges of the 21st century, it is a VU graduate. This is because, unlike many universities, VU has always focused on being practical but innovative. In my law degree, there were literally too many opportunities and initiatives for me to undertake. And believe me, I did try. The Chancellor outlined but a handful of the possibilities that exist at Victoria University. It is this focus on a combination of industry partnership and community engagement that I think we should all keep in mind as we begin our careers. The information we received in our degrees over the last few years will eventually become outdated, but the skills and the mindset we have been equipped with will serve us well in our lives and future careers. And the opportunities will not end here as we graduate today, because today is not the end of our studies. Education is a lifelong pursuit, and as we strive to succeed, we will be presented with both opportunities and challenges. And I feel Victoria University has equipped us all with the skills necessary to face those challenges head on, and when we see them, to make the most of those opportunities. To call it the University of Opportunity is more than just good marketing. It goes to the core of the VU ethos, one that I hope we are all extremely proud to be a part of. Now, as much as I was looking forward to today, I'm far more excited about the future and what awaits us all beyond this room. Thank you for listening to me. I wish all my fellow graduates the utmost happiness and success, and to you, I doff my cap. Thank you.
Thank you, Nico, and well done. I now invite the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Peter Dawkins, to read the charge to our new graduates.
Chancellor, can I ask all of the new graduates to stand, please? I charge you as graduates of Victoria University to uphold our commitment to excellence in the way you use your knowledge, skills and capabilities in your chosen occupations and industries and in your further studies. To engagement by the way you use your knowledge, skills and capabilities for the benefit of local and global communities. And access, along with equity and respect, by the way you connect with people from diverse countries, cultures, socioeconomic and educational backgrounds. Let it be known that you are now a graduate of Victoria University, defined by a commitment to excellence, engagement and access in everything you do. I charge you to make a difference to the world by modelling these values and behaviours and by being courageous in the way you play your part in solving problems in your work and in the broader community. Please be seated.
Thank you, Vice-Chancellor. I would now like to invite our Chancellor, Mr. George Pappas, to speak with you.
Thank you again, Susan. And I think, as you've all probably gathered, we are getting towards the end of our ceremony. And at the risk of maybe prolonging it just for a few more minutes, because I know you've all sat very patiently and you participated in what has been a long ceremony, I'd just like to share a few thoughts with you that have occurred to me as I've been sitting here sharing in the celebrations with you. The first is that tonight's ceremony, like nearly all of our ceremonies, just exemplifies to me why it is that I believe our graduation ceremonies are really the most important events in my calendar. Not just the university's calendar, but my own personal calendar. I love coming to our graduation ceremonies, whether I'm presiding or just sitting in the audience. I love it because that's where I see the impact that Victoria University has on you, our students, because that's why we exist. We exist for you. We exist for our students, and it's a particular privilege to be part of a graduation ceremony for two of our really very important colleges. You know, everybody, I think, appreciates the standing that the College of Sport has in not only the Australian universities, but also international universities. But also, our College of Law and Justice is a very special law school. Why do I say that? Because one of the most eminent jurists in Australia, Justice Michael Kirby, once said to me, "This is my kind of law school." And those words have stuck with me, and when I look at all of you guys and I look at the stuff that you're doing and I listen to the kinds of things that you're going to do, his words, I think, ring true. And of course, when I hear valedictorian speeches like Nico's, I just appreciate the quality of student that goes through Victoria University. I'm very proud of all of you, and that's why I love coming to these ceremonies. The other thing that struck me about tonight was listening to all of the work that our PhD students are doing. You know, we pride ourselves on having research that is relevant, that is not part of an ivory tower university, research that has an impact on organisations and communities with which we're involved. I think every one of the pieces of research that we heard about today is having an impact. In fact, probably having an impact even before we've given you your PhDs. So congratulations on the work that you're doing. It really reinforces to me that our whole research strategy is absolutely on the right track when I hear about your brilliant work. And finally, the other reason why tonight's ceremony has made a special impact on me is the presence of our honorary doctorate recipient. I've had the pleasure of working with Peter. I spent a year or two towards the end of my tenure on the Western Bulldogs board with Peter. And I can tell you, if you have the opportunity to work with someone who is creative, who has a razor-sharp mind, and who also has a very, very strong sense of social justice. You learn a lot, you appreciate a lot, and you develop as a person. Peter, I want to thank you for the impact that you've had on me, even in my later years, because you've helped me develop as a person. So for all of these reasons, and you know, it happens at every graduation ceremony, I love coming to these ceremonies. And I want to thank all of you for your enthusiastic participation. You responded to my invitation to be enthusiastic and to celebrate. And I'm going to give you one more chance to show your enthusiasm. Hang on, stop. Not just yet. Remember, I'm in charge here, I'm presiding. I'm going to ask all the family and friends, the supporters, to stand. The graduates can sit, family and friends. This is a little thing we do at the end of each ceremony. Please stand. And this is your chance. This is your chance to cheer and clap and say a hearty congratulations to our graduates for all of their accomplishments today. Congratulations to our graduates.
Chancellor, that brings to a close the formal proceedings of this graduation ceremony. On behalf of the Chancellor, I extend an invitation to all graduates and guests to join him and the university procession in the view on level 4 for refreshments. For safety reasons, I ask guests to remain in their places until the university procession and the new graduates have left the atrium. Guests will then be invited to leave once the procession and all graduates have departed. Now, would everyone please stand?
Wednesday